Coming to a theater near you, FRT 15, the Rare Breed Saga. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel, Wolverines. It's me, John Crump, heavyweight champion of investigative journalism. Today we are brought to you by JSD Supply. JSD Supply makes some of the sickest 80% kits on the planet. Check out the P320 kit that they make. It is quite insane. They also make some really cool slides and some other gear too. So go ahead and check them out at JSD Supply. If you can do me a big favor, like, comment, and subscribe. I've noticed several people have been unsubscribed that should be subscribed, including my other account. So go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed. Today's story is about our friends over at Rare Breed Triggers. Actually, I really don't know anyone over there, so whatever. But Rare Breed has been fighting the ATF. Rare Breed made something called the FRT 15, if you would. And what it is a forced reset trigger. Basically, it forces your trigger finger forward, and then with constant pressure, you pull the trigger again. So it's one function for each bullet fired. The ATF considers this a machine gun for some reason. Basically, if there's a device that turns a semi-automatic rifle or gun into a fully automatic gun, whatever that device is considered a machine gun. That's where you get the lightning links being a machine gun, drop-in auto sears as being machine guns, and so forth. We do have evidence that the ATF considered this to be a machine gun before they even took a look at it. Basically, Rare Breed never submitted a sample to the ATF. They counted on the expert testimony for people who stated it wasn't a machine gun. That includes Dan O'Kelly, who has basically told the ATF to go pound sand multiple times and won because he knows more about the actual process than Fat D, which is the ATF's firearms technology branch. And also Rick Vasquez looked at it and said this is a machine gun. Rick Vasquez, if you don't know, wrote most of the manuals for Fat D, so he should know as well. When they did look at it, they determined it was indeed a machine gun. So basically, they said, oh, it's a machine gun, but we have to look at it to determine it's a machine gun. And when they looked at it, they determined it was a machine gun. Huh. Funny how that works, right? That they decide it was a machine gun before looking at it. So when they finally do look at it, it was a machine gun. Sounds pretty fishy to me, but that's a story for another day, or a story that I've already reported on in the past. Go check out the video in the past. All right. So the ATF sent Rare Breed a cease and desist letter saying you can't sell these and you have to contact us within 5 days to determine a plan to get these back. Rare Breed filed for a TRO, or a temporary restraining order. They lost that, so they filed for a preliminary injunction to stop the ATF from enforcing their will on Rare Breed. So the court case for the preliminary injunction was heard, and a judge at the district level issued a ruling in the preliminary injunction. All right, so let's go through this. Kevin Maxwell is the owner of Rare Breed Triggers, and he's also a lawyer and also is the one arguing the case. He stated that by the ATF issuing the cease and desist letter, that it's going to cause him irreparable harm because it's going to financially ruin the company. The judge disagreed with this. He also stated that it was going to stop him from providing for him and his family. The judge also disagreed with that. So let's go ahead and talk about his situation first. The judge said that he is a practicing attorney, so he has a means of supporting his family even outside Rare Breed. So the judge rejected that. he also rejected that the company was going to be harmed because basically in court lingo, if you could be made monetarily whole through a suit, it's not irreparable harm. So the judge said that since he could be made financially whole if the ATF lost, then they don't need a preliminary injunction. So the judge threw that out as well. Kevin Maxwell also stated that if the ATF was allowed to go through with their cease and desist letter, that customers would charge back the company and it would harm the company. Once again, the judge said that they weren't playing with that and said they didn't buy it. They said that the company did not provide enough evidence that that would happen, so they rejected that charge as well. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Kevin Maxwell stated that the ATF wants the customer information of everyone that bought a FRT-15 trigger, which is very interesting. And he states that if he doesn't give it over, that he is going to be criminally prosecuted. And if he gets criminally prosecuted, that he will lose his law license. The judge states that they didn't show any reason that the court has to go against a law enforcement action. The court said that they're not aware of any case where they could go against law enforcement action, basically saying that they cannot issue an injunction to prevent a law enforcement action. So they lost on that as well. One of the interesting things to come out of the trial is that there was at least one FRT-15 trigger seized by the ATF. But the judge said that's not enough to show that the status quo isn't still happening and that the company was supposed to contact the ATF within 5 days to come up with a plan to get back all the triggers that are in circulation, which they obviously haven't done. So the judge said, since you did not prove harm, that we cannot look at anything else that you claim because you have to prove irreparable harm before we can go ahead and look at anything else. And you didn't prove that, so therefore the preliminary injunction is denied. A little side note is that Rare Breed claimed that if the preliminary injunction wasn't issued, that their patent infringement case against Big Daddy Unlimited for their wide open trigger would be harmed. The judge didn't buy that either, but that's neither here nor there. It was just an interesting little side note. That's the update with the Rare Breed trigger thing. We'll see where this goes from here. This is far from over, so we'll just have to keep an eye on it and see what actually happens. All right, if you like what I do here, I have a Patreon. Patreon's right there somewhere. You can go ahead and help me out. I also have a live channel where I stream 4 times a week usually. I talk to a bunch of interesting people from around the world. So go ahead and check me out. All right. With that said, we are out of here. Stay ever vigilant. Stay ever free. Keeping the fight. And I'm out. Wolverines, motherfucker.